I'd say it's about time we go finish off the 0ZX portion of the Mega Man timeline, don't you think? And I think the best way to do that is to finally show off 0ZX Legacy Collection. This came out a few years ago. I think after I'd done most of the games. I think this was after I did Mega Man ZX a few years back. It allows you to control a bunch of versions of the games you're playing, be it the Japanese, US, or even European versions in some cases. And that comes with all the nice little bits that it comes with in the other Legacy collections, like an easy mode, save assist, and like music player and gallery options for concept art. But we're here mostly to press the wrong button and go directly back to the title screen rather than selecting ZX Advent. So let's not mess around and just get started on what's technically Mega Man 06 and end this timeline off. Somewhat very nostalgic to hear that, because I played ZX Advent before I played ZX even, so that takes me way back to playing this game on my DS at my grandmother's house of all places. Going to be playing on normal mode because it's all you can select at base in the Legacy Collection. We're going to be playing the game as Gray. Gray is the reason that I played as Ale back in ZX1. They do actually have gameplay differences this time around, because Gray has higher rapid but lower attack, and they even have some minor other charge shot differences once we get into the main game style. By and large, though, it doesn't matter who you play as, barring some dialogue differences, though. To get a secret scene at the end of the game, you do need to have at least played as both. We'll talk more about that, though, when we get to the very end of the game, and there I go, pressing the wrong button once again. Oh, boy.
Well, how's that lock coming? This is one tough nut to crack, but I'm almost there. Yes! Got it! We're in! Not again! It looks like this isn't it either! I was hoping we'd find it on the first try and show it off to the guys back at Hunter's Camp. Hey, there's something in there. What the? A Reploid kid? No way! What's it doing here? Hey, don't touch it. If you trip the security, we'll have mechanoids crawling all over us.
What the? What happened? Where am I? Who am I? Oh, I can't remember anything. Who are you?
I am Pandora. Gray, I'm here to dispose of you.
Gray? Is that my name? What do you mean, dispose of me?
You are like me, a Megaman, but you were awakened before the mind control sequence was completed.
Megaman? Mind control? What have you done to me?
Defectives must be disposed of.
I don't think this guy will be needing his weapon anymore. Ah! Why did she call me defective? Anyway, I have to find a way out of here before they kill me.
And thus the game begins. Starting off, Gray does have a higher rate of fire and less power, yes, but we can only just shoot with this random blaster we got. You can jump with the usual jump button, and Gray can duck to get beneath certain hazards that have like a one-tile height or into smaller passages. But by and large, you're not going to be playing a lot of the game as just standard Gray, as is the pattern with how he played as either Vent or Ale in the previous ZX game. But yeah, voice acting. Notably, the Legacy Collections have remastered voice acting, like they still have the original recordings back from when they originally recorded the game. And it is much higher quality than it was on the DS. I'll see if I can remember to intercut here with like one of the lines from that previous cutscene in the DS version versus what we heard.
Well, how's that lock coming?
It's, rough. Although in some ways, it sounds better if that sounds weird, because the lower audio quality and the heavy compression makes up for some of the performance quality, because X7's voice acting, not X7, ZX Advent's voice acting isn't exactly the greatest, and even some of the casting is a little weird, like, Gray is voiced by the same guy who voiced X back in X7. Albeit, he's better performing here than he was in that game. Either way, time for our boss fight. Gotta say, compared to ZX Original, that's a pretty weak warning siren. I think this thing's name is Domu the Giant or something along those lines. We got giant eyeballs we need to shoot that can shoot lasers out as it throws its hands up and down for you to jump on and shoot at it. It can eventually try to punch its own hands and fire some bombs out of its mouth, but as you can see, it dies real quick.
Huh? Where am I?
Whoa, hey! Let's just calm down, okay?
Are you here to kill me?
I'm the one who found you outside the camp. Put down your weapon. I'm not going to hurt you.
You helped me?
Yeah, don't mention it. What's your name? And what the heck happened to you?
Gray. At least that's what she called me anyway. When I woke up, I was inside some kind of building. And there was a woman. She said her name was Pandora. Right before she tried to kill me, I ran. Everything after that is a blur.
Well, there must be some reason you can't remember. Don't let it get you down. It'll all come back to you. This is Hunter's Camp, a gathering place for bounty hunters. They're a pretty rowdy bunch, but they're all good people. It's good to have guys like them around. Hey, you haven't had a chance to see the camp yet. Okay, exit this room and meet me at the trans server next door. There's something I want to show you.
Thank you for saving me.
Like I said, don't mention it. I'm sure you would have done the same for me.
And welcome to Hunter's Camp. This is going to be our main hub for the game as well as where we do a lot of NPC talking to and side quests. Well, are you feeling any better? I'm Anna. I give hunters medical attention in the infirmary. The transfer isn't here, it's in room 04. To enter the door in the back room, stand in front of it and press up on the D-pad. You can also push up on the D-pad to examine items and talk to someone, which you would have had to do to talk to me anyway, so I guess you kind of already know how to do that.
I'm Gary, the data room administrator. If you get your hands on something called a secret disk, you should bring it here for analysis. It contains information about enemies, etc. View the database?
Returning from 04 and the original 03 and the original ZX rather are secret disks. They don't really give you any items though. They're just there for enemy bios, background information on certain boss fights, that sort of thing. I'll be showing them off a couple times, but I'm not getting them all. It's the only thing I'm not doing in this game, really.
Hey, I didn't know kids like to drink coffee. I'm Jim, and this is my cafe. I used to make my living as a hunter, but I wasn't very good with directions, you know? And I realized that it just wasn't for me and got out.
So you're a hunter too, huh? Boy, there's just no shortage of new recruits lately. The name's Ward. Pleased to meet you. I put bounties out on the mechanoloids that show up around here, and I make the payouts to those hunters who have the right stuff. If you think you've got the right stuff, you should take a crack at it.
He won't really come to play until way later. What are you looking at? Do I have something on my face? You must be 12 going on 20 if you think you can talk to me. Remember that for the next time we meet. Sure. This room also won't come into play until way later in the game, depending on your actions. Just know that that's sort of one of the long-term side quests, not really at the same time. It's totally optional. This game does a better job at balancing its optional content, though, compared to the original ZX. In fact, I'd say in general, while it's a step back in some regards for the Metroidvania aspect, ZX Advent in general is the better laid out game compared to ZX Original. More on that in a few moments, though. That machine's called a transfer. You can use it to save data. Go ahead, get up there and press up on the D-pad. Sure. And we got ourselves a hunter's license. And from here you can also just exit or do your first save in the game. I recommend doing this regularly. I know I have to just for recording's sake for reasons. A hunter's license? I don't get it. By accessing the server, you've officially been registered as a hunter. There are trans servers spread all over the place. When you find one, be sure to save, and save often. Wait a minute, I never said that I wanted to be a hunter. Just keep it. There are a lot of illegal hunters, raiders, and such out there. You can't get into Hunter's Camp without your hunter's license. Take a look around later on. Oh, by the way, you want to help me with a mission? A mission? Job requests we hunters get now and then. You get paid when you carry out a job successfully. It's a living. Anyway, I've got it ready for the mission. So, I'll be at the station. Give me a holler when you're ready to go. Now that we've gotten ourselves a hunter's license, we can explore a little more in depth. By the way, whenever you see that icon on the bottom left, that's the autosave. I haven't seen you around here before. My name's Nana. How do you do? I'm an operator in training here at Hunter's Camp. I know you probably don't need my help, but allow me to explain a few things for you. That device is called a warp point. You can use the transfer back there any time to go to wherever there is a warp point. But it looks like that one isn't working, because it's all out of power. If you have enough energy crystals, you can press up on the D-pad and start it up. Let's start up this one just for now. See? Pretty neat, huh? With this, you can use a transfer to come back anytime. You can look at the map to see which areas are accessible. When you start up the warp point, the area will light up red. So you should be able to find it right away. I wonder if you're able to understand my explanation since I'm still in training. Also, in casual scenario mode, all I have to do is touch it and it'll start up automatically. If you don't understand something, please ask me again, okay? So these seem like they'd be checkpoints, but every room is a checkpoint in its own right in this game. They are just quick travel warp points for whenever you're at a transfer and you want to teleport elsewhere. You do need energy crystals for it though, and you get those by finding them in the levels, getting dropped by enemies, and even doing side quests and main missions.
Who are you? They call me Pierre. I know where you're trying to get to, but there ain't nothing that way. If you're trying to get to the station, it's in the opposite direction.
Cool. Thanks. Hey there!
Yo, you a hunter too? My name's Kid. We've been drilling here, trying to find some lost technology or something. Takes a heck of a lot of energy just to run the drill. It ain't worth it in my opinion. But we found this place that looks like it was used as a room, buried under the earth and sand. We can't give up because there could be something down there. He is going to be a bit of a long-running side quest depending on how well you get energy crystal drops or how much grinding you do otherwise. By and large, a lot of your experience with using energy crystals is going to be whether or not you feel like grinding or just playing levels over and over again. But if you're playing on easy mode or casual scenario mode here in the Legacy Collection, you don't need to worry about it as much because you don't need to actively start up the warp points. And even then, you don't have to start up every warp point. I recommend only starting up maybe the first or fourth in every area just for a quick travel point later on. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 2, we really get started on the game, so to speak. See you guys then.